Okay, so we are now on slide 10. It says aligning annual company and marketing objectives. This is pretty lengthy, so I'm going to allow you guys to kind of look over that on your own, but do review that and see how they're laying out how company and marketing objectives should align to be best for your business, okay? All right, slide 11 is also another graphic. So marketing planning process, it gives a nice layout there of how it starts with your corporate mission and you work your way down to your situation analysis and you look at your internal, external factors, which we'll get to here in a minute. All right, so slide 12, implementation and budget. Implementation involves tactics used to execute the strategy. So those can be all kinds of different resources, from your human resources, which are your physical people that you have in your company or organization, to technology. So all of those different things can be used to get your strategy out there and to deliver. Next, the implementation process emphasizes the timely completion of tasks. Like I mentioned in the first part of this lecture, it's super important to have a time frame so that you can make the most of your marketing strategy and making sure you're getting ready to turn a profit. And then lastly, the marketing budget represents a plan to allocate expenditures to each of the components of the marketing mix. We covered the marketing mix last week in chapter 2, so I hope you guys remember those couple components from that are super important. And marketing can cost a lot of money, so making sure you stay on budget, especially if we talk about, I'll go back to my example. Like I said last week, I like to use the same company over and over again. Think about Chick-fil-A and all the marketing they do. You see commercials on TV, you see their giant billboards, you see or you hear radio ads. They have Facebook pages. They just spend a ton of money on marketing, and it works for them, right? It totally works. They have a catchy little saying about eat more chicken with the cow. Funny, clever, right? So that totally works for them. But then you think about maybe a locally owned business, how their budget is much smaller. So they have to get much more creative with how they market themselves so that they can stay in budget, because marketing can be a very pricey thing. All right, slide 13, return on marketing investment. So what were the goals of the campaign? What goal are you trying to reach by doing this marketing campaign? How did the target customer influence the campaign and the goals? So your target market, who you're trying to market to, how did that help you determine how you're going to market? Based off of the age demographic or the certain social group that you're trying to market to, how did that sway your decision on how you marketed your product, as far as commercial, radio, billboard, any of those things that you can think of, internet advertising, all of that. Was it successful? Did it work for you? Did you turn a profit? Did you see an increase in sales, an increase in customer feedback? There's a lot of different ways that you can determine whether it was successful or not. And then what metrics were used to determine the success of the campaign? So was that solely based on profit? Was it maybe based on how much more foot traffic you might get into a brick or mortar store? You have to kind of determine how you're going to measure your success before you get your marketing campaign up and going. That needs to be part of your plan. Hint, hint there on your marketing plan there. Think about your project at the end of this class. Make sure you know how you're going to measure the success of your marketing plan before you put it into place. All right, slide 14 is SWOT analysis. This is one of my favorite topics in marketing because it's super, super important. So in a SWOT analysis, you're looking at external factors that affect your business as well as internal factors that affect your business. So you look at, for both things, you're going to look at opportunities and you're going to look at threats. So opportunities externally, think about technology, new technology that you can bring into your company, your competition, economic areas, legal, social trends. Those are all opportunities. But the threats are also those same exact things. So technology, maybe new technology could be a threat to you because you don't have the funds to put that new technology in, and people like using that technology. Your competition can always be a threat to you depending on what they're doing better or faster than what you are. The economy, it just depends on how the economy is going. Right now in our current state, you could probably say that our economy is a threat. Not an opportunity at this point. All right, and then internal factors, you're looking at your company on the inside, okay? So nothing that surrounds you guys on the outside that might affect your business, but everything on the inside. And it's the same exact thing, strengths and weaknesses. Technology, okay? Is your technology that you have in your company a strength or a weakness for you at this point? Financial aspects, human resources. Do you have the right type of people with the right type of knowledge to get you where you want to go? Are your people a strength or a weakness? Do they need more training? Do you need to bring somebody else in with a different set of skills? Okay. Your competition, is it a strength or a weakness for you guys? Okay. So you have to look at external and internal factors in a SWOT analysis to make sure that you are covering all your bases when you're looking forward to your marketing strategy. Okay, so slide 15 gives you an example for a college, a SWOT analysis. Okay, so you can look over that. It lays out external and internal strengths and opportunities, weaknesses and threats, and it lays it out pretty good for you. Okay, and then slide 16 is a BCG matrix. So it shows how your market growth and your market share and the different factors that kind of go into that. So you've got high potential growth, low growth potential, high growth potential and a low market share, and low growth potential and a low market share versus a high market share. So just a little good graphic you guys can read over. 17 is another graphic, strategic opportunity matrix. You guys can look at that as well. All right, slide 18, growth strategies. So these bullet points cover just your typical growth strategies when looking at a marketing plan. So market penetration. How do you guys get out there and get your name out into the market? Market development. How do you develop a customer base? Product development. How do you determine how your product is going to benefit the market? Diversification. How do you make yourself different from everybody else out there? Okay. Think about, again, all the different type of brands we have. I mentioned last week about how we have name brand and generic, right? Well, like I'm sitting here right now and I've got my Nestle Pure Life water sitting here next to me. And why is it that I buy this one instead of just the regular Sam's Club brand? Okay, what is it about this water, for whatever reason, that I always buy this versus the Sam Club, which is going to be cheaper, right? But there's something about that specific water that is better to me than the other. And I decide that the, dollar something more for the big pack is worth it to me than buying the generic water. So they caught me somehow on that. Okay, so each strategy entails a different level of risk, okay? And you have to do your risk versus your reward. There's just something in your strategy that you have to weigh out and decide for your own company or organization, what is it worth the risk for you in order to get that bigger reward for your company. Okay, so on slide 19 is a pretty detailed graphic about buyer personas. So I'm not going to read that. It's pretty detailed, so you guys should read over that yourselves. But I am going to read on slide 20. It says, what is a buyer persona? So fictional, generalized representations of an ideal customer that help a marketer understand current and potential customers better. So if you're a marketing professional, you in your head give a persona of the perfect buyer that's going to buy your product, love your product, spread your product's name. Okay, that is a buyer persona. It's totally what you as the marketing professional have dreamed up in your head about what the best possible customer would be for you and what they would then do for your business. Customer relationship management, a discipline in marketing combining database and computer technology with customer service and marketing communication. So every business has some type of database and computer technology that they are able to document things, and that then mixes with their customer service. So say you're trying to make a return for an item you ordered online. If you call and talk to somebody on the phone, that's typically documented. So if, say you don't get your return done, the money still hasn't come back into your bank account, something like that. And when you call your second time, they can see the notes from the first person who has talked to you. So something very simple like that. The next bullet point is customer relationship management seeks to create more meaningful one-on-one communications with the customer by applying customer data. So hopefully, because they typed in what you and the customer service representative talked about the first time you had to call customer service on the phone, the next time, hopefully, your issue is resolve quicker and better because they have the information from the first time you called. So just basic customer service that we hopefully all get when we have issues like that. Oh. All right, practice question. Barbecue Blends want to sell their line of spice rubs in China. What growth strategy is this? Okay. For your bonus this week, you can answer this question. You don't have to post a video or a picture. You can just respond to the announcement that I post these videos on with your answer. So Barbecue Blends want to sell their line of spice rubs in China. What growth strategy is this? Okay, that is your bonus opportunity for this week. You will notice I'm going to apply these bonuses to your quizzes. And if for some reason you don't need the bonus on your quizzes, I'll apply it to another assignment. But that's how I plan on doing that. So I hope you guys have stayed safe this week and everything is going well with your classes. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Have a good rest of the weekend.